Hey there guys, how are you? So before we talk about the Ghostbusters remake, I first want to get serious with you just for 1 second and talk about something that haunts my nightmares every time I close my eyes at night. It's Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2. That shit still creeps me out. Ugh. Look at this shit, it's like Buffalo Bill from the Dark Ages. Alrighty, so Ghostbusters, the remake. Here it goes. For the next few seconds, I'm just going to talk to you guys. I'm going to ramble on. I'm not going to cut anything together. I'm not going to make it all witty and jump cutty and all that shit. It's just me talking to you, one guy talking to an audience of people who might have liked this movie or hated the shit out of this movie. And where do I stand in all that? Well, I'll tell you in just 1 second. First of all, let's be honest. Did this reboot, remake look that good judging by the trailers? Because from a marketing standpoint, and from just a dude who likes movies, I thought those original trailers did nothing for this movie. This movie could have been the best movie ever, but those trailers made this movie look like pure shit. It made it look like PG slapstick fart humor, and it's just like, why? Why would I want to see that? You're trying to reestablish a loved franchise from the 1980s, and you're gonna crap this shit out into our eyeballs and make us swallow it. And right there, I'm gonna add a cut. As usual, it's very late, and I don't do jump cuts in my videos because I run out of things to talk about. It's just the things I talk about get so dark and weird, I'm just like, I have to end it right there. So suffice it to say, is Ghostbusters the worst thing that's ever happened? Is it an abomination against humanity? Is it the worst movie I've ever seen? Is it the worst reboot I've ever seen? No, it's none of those things. Is it a disposable comedy movie that no one's gonna remember in 6 months that doesn't even live up to the original movies whatsoever? Yeah, it's that. And with all that out of the way, I do own the original 2 Ghostbuster films on DVD. I love the original film. It was like lightning in a bottle. You had all these great comedians of the 1980s in one film, hunting ghosts, deadpan humor, dry, witty comedy, everything I love. And then you have Ghostbusters 2, which, well, wasn't as good as the first movie, and it was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. The new Ghostbusters reboot's directed by Paul Feig. It stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones as 4 women who want to catch ghosts and get covered in ectoplasm. Now, this new Ghostbusters movie is directed by Paul Feig, who directed Bridesmaids. And that was a surprise comedy. I really enjoyed it. I liked everything that it had to offer. It was very raunchy and over the top. And I love Kristen Wiig. I really love her as an actress. And I think her comedic style is everything I want to see in a comedy movie. And this movie also stars Melissa McCarthy. And shit, that was a bad movie. And I'm not the hugest fan of Melissa McCarthy. I just feel like she's trying very hard to be over the top as much as she can in every single movie. And in this movie, I was pleasantly surprised that she toned down her comedic style just a little bit. And for me, that made her funnier. And I like that change of pace for her as an actress and a comedian. Now, as far as the plot of the movie goes, well, if you've seen Ghostbusters Part 1 and a little bit of Ghostbusters Part 2, it's essentially the same thing. Now, the reason I just mentioned Ghostbusters Part 2 is because this new movie shares some of the same plot elements that Ghostbusters 2 had going on. Because in this new movie, the main human antagonist is played by this dude, who pretty much is the same character that was in Ghostbusters 2, this dude. Yeah, that creepy guy who wanted to bring Vigo alive from the paintings. So here's what I'm getting at. This movie is simply a remake. It doesn't offer a lot of new original ideas or concepts. Yeah, they tweak and change things, simple things, but as far as the main basis and the backbone, well, they don't really take any risks. They don't really expand on anything that you haven't already seen. So my question is, why even remake it? Now, on a positive note, the first half of this movie was somewhat enjoyable and better than expected. It was funny. I like the build-up. I like the characters coming together. I like when they're testing all their gadgets and trying them out and things are going wrong. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I laughed a few times. And then you get to the second half of the movie, and it's just like everyone stopped trying, the plot went straight to shit, and anything that could happen, did happen. At one point, they're fighting parade balloon animals, and there's just all these cameos that don't really mesh well, they're not funny. They just felt like they were all slapped in at the very last second, and it's just like, what a waste. But I will say one of my favorite aspects of the film is Chris Hemsworth, who plays the big, muscular, dumb secretary for the Ghostbusters. And let me get serious just for 1 second. As a male, I was offended by this. This is sexist. You have this big hunk of a man, he's muscular, he's covered in baby oil, and they treat him like a dummy. He's just a piece of meat to these women. They don't hire him because of his skill sets as a secretary. They hire him because he's a sex object to them. And as a male, I was offended by this. I'm just kidding. I don't really give a shit. But I really enjoyed Chris Hemsworth in this movie, and he has some of the funniest scenes throughout the film. So I'm going to give Ghostbusters, It's not because I'm a bigot or I hate women. It's just because I enjoy good movies. And this movie, well, it was underwhelming. And that doesn't make it a good movie to me. So anyway, guys, here's my question to you, and let me know down below, What do you guys think about the Ghostbusters remake? Or what is one of your favorite remakes of all time and one of your least favorite remakes of all time? Yeah, let me know all that down below. And by the way, check out my badass awesome Zangief t-shirt. Look at that, Zangief's Gym. I love it. If you guys want a closer look at this t-shirt or a whole bunch of other t-shirts, such as this Ghostbusters t-shirt right here from the original movie, and a whole bunch of other awesome badass t-shirts, some of my t-shirt designs are there as well. And since I like you guys and I want you to save a few bucks, most of the t-shirts at my store are only $14 right now. So like I said, link down below, check it out if you guys want a closer look at some of this badass awesome shit. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. That way I can see you next time.